What's going on YouTube? Today we're gonna be trying to restore this 2001 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS Gen 3, one of the least favorable Eclipses out there. Originally bought this car for my girlfriend. I'm gonna be working on my girlfriend's 2001 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS. We're gonna be working on the rust that this car has a lot of. We bought it out here in Florida for about $3 grand. I think I really overpaid for it, to be honest. But it's a work in progress, and we'll see what we can do. It's gonna be a long journey to get this thing in tip-top shape, but we're gonna learn a lot and have fun with it. So just want to take you around the car and just show you what we got here. So it's gonna be in a silver color. If you see over here, I got my 2013 Lancer Ralliart, and I thought it'd be cool since they're both silver. We kind of match up, smoke taillights and everything. But yeah, the body is not in too bad of shape outside of the rust. You know, some dings and like minor kind of things, maybe like the rubbers and the seals and stuff could probably get replaced with some newer ones. You know, we got clear coat kind of peeling in some areas, but other than that, you know, she fully runs. It's got the 4G64 motor in it. Go over here to the hood here. Lift this guy up. Ooh, it's kind of hard doing this with one hand, but let's do it like that. But yeah, it's got the 4G64 motor. Again, there's a lot of rust. One of the main issues that I'm kind of scared about is the strut tower right here does have a decent amount of rust, because they do not seam seal these from factory, which, you know, kind of a dumb thing that Mitsubishi kind of overlooked, I think. So yeah, inevitably a lot of these Gen 3 Eclipses, the strut towers tend to rust and kind of fail in those areas, but I'm thinking maybe sometime in this series I might learn how to weld, maybe cut out some of these kind of more bad sections or the whole, you know, piece in itself, and weld in a new strut tower there. So, but for now, we're just gonna try to mitigate as much wear as possible, see what we can do about this. Hopefully, you know, it's savable. If not, we might need to find a shell in the future and just kind of maybe restart with a different car, who knows, but hopefully not. You know, as every car person is kind of broke, but yeah, otherwise engine runs pretty good. Oil, did a recent oil change on it, so it's a little bit dirty in there, probably needs a good clean. But yeah, everything runs pretty decent on here. We'll definitely have to upgrade a lot of the exhaust parts. It does have an exhaust leak currently, and I think a leak, if you look down there, I don't know if you can see that, but it's leaking a little bit in some places, so we'll have to figure out where that's coming from. You know, weird random wiring as well. This is definitely something that needs to get addressed. I want to say this is for the fog lights, but it also might be for something else. I have no clue, honestly. I'll have to do some research on that, but yeah. So I think in this video we'll probably get started. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when we bought this car, I had to drive it about like an hour or two. Oh no, it's already kind of coming off here, but I had to JB weld this radiator because it actually has a crack that goes along here. So we'll probably replace this as one of the first things that we'll do as far as parts, and replace the hoses and like all the clamps and everything, with some better ones. I don't really like these clamps, are like the worst clamps ever, but yeah, we'll have to replace this. For now, this like holds temp pretty okay. I took a hose and like shot it through the engine and everything because this thing was gunked up with almost like a clay type texture, like coolant. And I'm thinking, just this car probably sat for a decent amount of time, and they probably filled it with different types of coolant and like other stuff. So, you know, there's rust and all types of dirty crap that, you know, definitely ran through here. So we'll have to flush the entire system. But for now, it does get pressure and it does hold temp, which is good. So yeah, no overheating. I already did like a few flushes on the cooling system when we first got the car, after I did the JB welding and everything, to just kind of get rid of the overheating. It would overheat on idles and like at stops. But yeah, pretty clean car. There's some minor body kind of damage down there on the front bumper here, and last owner decided to install these kind of like, I don't even know, these weird like fog lights. They don't have a cover on them at all, and it's like cut out. Super strange stuff. No grill here either, which is interesting. Yeah, or like I guess the meshing. These are missing on this side and on this side. I don't know if there's anything that's supposed to go in those little slots, but eventually we're gonna replace a bunch of the stuff anyways. But for now, we're just going to try to work on like regular maintenance stuff, you know, fluids. I think most of these fluids are like okay. For the most part. This is the brake fluid right here. Let's see what's going on. Oh my god. Holy crap, this thing is stuck. Well, it is full, as far as I can tell, and it does break, so we'll probably have to replace all that at some point. And we got our, I think our master cylinder over here. But yeah, everything's pretty much stock. Not really many aftermarket parts except the muffler. I think there is over here. Does have some sort of, let's see, Pilot Motorsports. I've never heard of that brand before. It might be like some AutoZone, you know, type modification, but yeah, it's got a tip on this like stockish muffler, and then it kind of has like, oh, got the camera facing down. It's got this sort of like resonator in there. I don't know if that's stock. It looks a little bit newer, but yeah, this subframe is pretty cooked. We'll have to see what we can do about that and see if it's too far gone. It might be, honestly, but you know, we're not gonna talk about that. Don't need structural integrity whatsoever. Let's see, this trunk is pretty cool too. Let's see, where are keys here? Got them in this pocket. Open this up. Hopefully the car doesn't honk at me for doing this. It likes to set off the security when I do this, but okay, no, I think we're good. So, definitely need to replace the struts on this thing. They're definitely a little stiff. Ooh, it's also like not really in there, to be honest. That is really strange. And that looks like they like stripped that thing out. Holy crap. Not really any rust in here. Definitely gonna have to clean out all this like kind of debris that's in here at some point. I did give her a good wash when we first got it, and I did polish up the hood a little bit, but it's kind of been sitting out here in front of the house for a while. Doesn't look too bad, but just a little dusty. But yeah, we got some new coolant in here for when I finish flushing the radiator system, or once we buy the new radiator, I might just I just have distilled water in there right now, but I'll probably swap it out with actual coolant once we get the radiator, just so I don't waste those. And then yeah, I got some random kind of tools in here, big torque wrench, some hammers, and then I got my toolkit in my car for us to start working on some of this rust today. And I think we'll probably start with these strut towers. I might just start taking the wire brush. We just got a random nut here. It's so strange. I think this was probably on, yeah, I think this was originally on here. We had to replace the battery when we first bought it because, I mean, as you can see, this is pretty cooked. And I think whoever had this nut was too small for this terminal connector, and was actually like gouging out like a hole on this connector. So they put, when we went and got the battery changed, they put a washer and a nut on top of that to get rid of that. But yeah, so yeah, let's get started on trying to kind of get rid of some of this rust and try to prevent any more from happening. We'll see what we can do. I don't really know if this car is worth saving. You all tell me. I know like most of y'all are probably gonna say it's really dumb trying to restore this thing. It's gonna be a waste of money. I'm on the same page, but you know, we're gonna see what we can do. This is gonna be my first kind of project car, you know, Facebook Marketplace, low budget project that I'm gonna be working on. So we're gonna learn a lot, and I think that'll be super fun. So yeah, I'm gonna grab the tools and stuff, and we'll kind of get started on working on some of this rust. All right, so we kind of got it set up here. This is kind of all the stuff that I got earlier at Ace Hardware. So we got some wire brushes, and I have, it's not brushless, but it's a drill. It's the one that I just had. Again, this is gonna be kind of low budget, so I'm not trying to buy more tools out of budget for this, but it should do. It's full charge right now. Probably won't last very long since it's a Ryobi, but it's a drill, so we'll use that with the drill bit brushes, and I also got a hand one just for like some, you know, tighter corners that we might not be able to get with the drill brushes. And then I also got this Rust-Oleum rust reformer. So I think this stuff is supposed to kind of convert the chemical properties of the rust somehow into like a paintable surface that won't rust anymore, and it should prevent the rust from spreading in certain areas that we can kind of get rid of it with. We'll definitely, for some of the spots that like it's pretty bad in, we'll either have to replace sections and panels. I mean, again, like really the outside chassis of the car doesn't really have any rust. It's mainly like the underneath of it, like the pinch welds and the subframe that, you know, for sure will need to get replaced or fixed. And then the what is it called? The control arms on the rear definitely have a decent amount of rust on them. But I'm just gonna pour that into this little cup with this brush, and kind of, once we are done using the brushes, or the wire brushes, we'll use this rust reformer to kind of try to get rid of any rust or convert it or whatnot. So, and then I also found this I think this is like a file to maybe like pick out like some of the chunks of rust that are sitting in our side skirts. And yeah, I also got my toolbox here in case we take off anything or need to remove anything. Probably just throw everything in the trunk, but started on this little tool set. It's not really much right now, but I'll have to buy like an actual socket set right now. These are just Walmart branded sockets from this set over here actually, that I have in here for more like metric sets for cars. And then, you know, I got some extra stuff. I got some snippers and another torque wrench in here. We got a torque impact torque gun, and then, you know, some other random kind of stuff, electrical stuff, wrenches, multimeter, needle nose, and then more wrenches, random flathead. But yeah, we'll try to make use of these tools a little bit more. But for now, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna unpack these real quick. I don't know if I can do this by hand. Okay, I think these might be the easy ones to open up. They're not the, yeah. But yeah, this, what is this? A coarse wire cup. So yeah, these will hopefully help with some of the rougher areas. I probably should have gotten some finer ones for once I get down to like, I don't know, I get down on the rust. I don't want to get, you know, too crazy with the brushes and like go through something. But yeah, we're gonna go try this out and see what we can do. And if y'all want to see any videos on the Lancer, let me know, and I can do like a little showcase. I'll probably make a video on this car as well, but we're gonna start with this series because there's a lot that needs to get done. And yeah, I will see you at the car with the brushes. So I think we're going to start with our little hand brushes and kind of try to hand brush these away. I probably should be wearing a mask for this. I probably should have a pick too. I mean, these are pretty bad. If you can see here, I mean, that thing is cracked. Definitely don't recommend driving a car with this much rust. I mean, you're just asking for trouble, to be honest. Ooh, yeah, that guy is fucking cooked. And to be honest, I feel like some of these areas, I don't know, it might just be better to leave them, because, you know, I feel like if I remove too much of this, it'll just make the integrity of the car a lot worse. But we'll see what we can do here, and kind of just get rid of some of this. And it does say on the Rust-Oleum package, if I'm gonna use, because I'm gonna use a spray primer on this, just like a rattle can, to wait like around like 3 days after doing the rust, what is it called? The rust reformer. It says to wait about 3 days to actually like paint it. So we'll probably do that. I guess it's supposed to turn like black or something once it converts it. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of rust on this guy, and we'll probably have to replace all of these pieces of hardware too. I mean, they are just pretty much rotted at this point. Oh my god. Yeah, we'll have to grab our little wire brush. I don't want to get too crazy with it, different spots, because I want to make sure I get every little spot that I'm using these wire brushes on, just so I do not I don't cause more rust, you know? That's what we're trying to get rid of. So I'll get back with y'all whenever I kind of get just this little area done, and we'll see what we can do from there. Okay, so we did a little bit of wire brushing. I used partially the wheel attachment here and our hand brush. Kind of got a lot of these little areas. This part back here isn't looking so good. I'm gonna be so honest. So that'll definitely have to probably get replaced at some point. But we're gonna try to do what we can to make it drivable for now. Again, and you know, the end of this build, the goal isn't really to make this like the fastest car on the planet, but really to just make it a really good daily and you know, reliable as much as it can be. That is if we keep this chassis. But for now, we're gonna try to see what we can do with all these little rust spots. I mean, overall, there is a lot of like solid, decent metal around this area. So it's not the entirety of this strut tower that is rusted, but there is a good bit of it, especially down here. We're gonna have to, you probably can't see it down there. You can see a little bit, but it's pretty bad underneath this. I think this is a fuse box right here. So I'll probably have to remove this. Let's actually see what's going on. Actually, is this the fuse box? This might be something entirely different. Unlatch and lift to remove cover. Okay, yeah, it is the fuse box. Yeah, there's a lot of debris and random stuff in here. We'll have to get the air compressor and blow this stuff out, but yeah, some old fuses in here. I don't even know what half of them are for. It's for the ECU. I'm guessing that's like AC or ignition or something like that. And I am still learning a lot more about vehicles, so if I get some of the terminology wrong on a lot of this stuff, bear with me. And definitely inform me in the comments if I am saying the wrong things or the wrong parts for a lot of this stuff that I am talking about here. Definitely gonna have to replace this ground harness thing right here, because not even a harness, it's just this ground. Yeah, I kind of cleaned up this bolt that was going through it, holding it in as much as I could, but we'll definitely have to replace it. He also looks like he tapped in something, the previous owner tapped something in here at some point. I'm guessing probably like sound system or something. I would have, if I were to have to guess. But yeah, we'll have to remove this to get down into these little nooks right here, because there's a decent amount of rust down here. Looks like, how does this even come out? Okay, it looks like we got one bolt just holding it, 2 bolts maybe. And we have think another ground right here, or a power wire to something. I do have the battery detached, which is good, so I'll probably detach this and pull this tray out of here and try to get some of this area. Battery tray and this whole like framing right here is also pretty bad. So I don't know how much more I can get of this. I might try to get a little bit more of where this strut bolt is, but again, I don't want to remove too much. I mean, I guess if we're gonna go, we're gonna go, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather do it now than when the vehicle is driving. So I guess I will probably take this bolt out. Maybe this, I'd have to lift the car up. And again, the pinch welds are kind of cooked, so you can lift the car up, because I did do an oil change on this thing, but it is pretty sketchy to do. So I will maybe just remove the bolt to get a little bit more clearance to see what's going on around it, and yeah, we'll go from there. And then eventually probably gonna have to take, I'm gonna have to take this full suspension out anyways at some point, and you know, check everything out. It'll need new rotors, pads, calipers, I mean pretty much everything. These tires are dry rotting, so that's not good either. Not a lot of tread on them either. They're pretty bald. And yeah, definitely want to change out the wheels. The wheels are okay for now, but you know, eventually we'll want to change these out and get something a little bit cleaner. I'm thinking of putting on these wheels on the Eclipse and getting new wheels for my car at some point, because I want to get, right now I'm just running some reps, but I do want to get some actually forged wheels at some point. But yeah, I apologize for all the noise in this video. We actually live by like a main road, so there's not really much I can do about it. And we don't really have like a driveway or anywhere for me to kind of work in a secluded, you know, isolated area. So this is kind of what I got. But yeah, we'll let me remove this fuse box and then we'll try to get that situated. I need a socket for that guy. Let's grab our 10mm and our, don't know if we need an extension, but I'll bring that just in case. Use that. See if we can get this on with one hand. Okay, that seems solid. Throw this guy on. Maybe. There we go. Okay, lefty loosey. Oh, I keep fucking hitting my head on the fucking hood. Fuck. Okay. I actually got like the most giant like weld on my forehead from earlier hitting this fucking hood. And yeah, it's not fun. It's not very not fun. Alright. Let's screw this guy out. And sorry if my video recording skills are not very good doing this. I've never really recorded myself working on vehicles before, but yeah, look how freaking cooked all these bolts are. This project, it's probably not even a project. This is just a parts car at this point, but I mean, it runs, it drives. Is it safe? Not really, but that's okay. We'll make do. We'll make do. Alright, let's grab this guy. Oh, tighten in that John. Let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. And I wonder if I can get this all the way out without removing this wrench first. It might have to take this fuse out, to be honest. Oh, maybe not. Oh. Looks like we can grab it. There we go. Throw that guy up there. Okay. Okay, that bolt is kind of just... Come here. Come here. What are you doing? There we go. Okay. We're just going to throw those in the fuse box lid for now. Will this come up now, or is it attached to anything else? Oh yeah, we have this one last little bolt there. Let's grab you, and I think that's also a 10 mil. Is it a 10 mil? It is a 10 mil. Probably should have removed this one first, just because now this box is kind of shaking around everywhere since I'm not even pointing at the thing I'm working on. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Alright. But haven't really seen too many videos of people working on the 3rd gen Eclipses, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to put something out on the internet, because I used to do a lot of YouTube back in the day. Oh my gosh, that was so scary. Back in the day, but I used to record Minecraft gameplay, of course, and you know, I kind of miss doing video recordings like this. I feel like, you know, it's a good form of expression, and let's see, I think maybe this, it looks like this portion kind of is separate from like this bigger main portion. So I don't know if this needs to come out because it looks like there's a harness that kind of like, oh no guys, I'm seeing something real bad down there. Let's see, can we just yank this fucker out of here? We might need to loosen this bolt right here, kind of move it out of the way. We will try that real quick. I don't think that's a 10 though. That might be like a 12. I think that's a 12. Probably should move my toolbox a little bit closer, but that's okay. Alright, let's go in here and loosen this bolt up. Let's see if we can kind of move this harness out the way. And you know, if this build goes well, I think we'll do a engine head swap with the 4G63 double head or double overhead cam, because I think this one is a single overhead cam. You know, it's fun. I think it has like 150 something horsepower. I don't know, something like that. Not a lot of horsepower, but you know, she gets moving. She's movable. Gonna just throw that guy there, and we will move this, of course, to more rest. Beautiful. This battery also has a fuse like here for some reason. I'm not really used to that. I know like some cars have that, but don't really like having that there. And there's supposed to be a cap on here actually, but the clip broke on the other side, which we noticed when changing out the battery. So gonna have to figure out something for that. Don't really like the idea of just having a fuse sitting out exposed to possible contaminants, moisture, etc. And then we have a little plug down here. And what's nice about recording these videos is I also get to know how to put this back together once I take it apart, because I feel like if I didn't record this, I probably would have absolutely no idea how to get this stuff out of the way. But there we go. Looks like we can kind of get under here. Yeah, that's very lovely. Can definitely see through the vehicle from right there. So yeah, we're gonna try to remove some of that. Isn't looking too good as far as fixability goes. So we'll see what we can do here. Gonna grab our wire brush and start brushing, I guess. And a lot of this, yeah, I mean, it's just chunks on chunks of rust. I mean, this probably, I don't know. Oh yeah, and definitely, like I said before, I probably need a mask for this. I mean, it's probably not very healthy breathing in any of what's going on here. And I'll probably have to get that attachment with like the flat end on it, this guy right here, and probably hit it with that. Might be the most optimal way to get it. So we're gonna throw that on the ground. It might take me a few videos to kind of get my groove down with like recording and talking and kind of figuring out my style of recording, but been really inspired by a few YouTubers, one of them obviously being Mr. Mike, Mr. Priza Mike, and a few other dudes that I've been watching as well. This one dude, Midori, I think that's his last name or something. This is kind of a sketch spot. Let's see if we can even. It'd be nice to get this fuse box like all the way out. If possible. I don't know if it's possible. I think there's some clips, and then there's the bottom section with all the pins. So we might be able to kind of separate them like that. Let's see. Okay, so I popped that out. That's all like the pin out kind of stuff. And it's just like a bunch of not loose, but like a bunch of wires that kind of pin out for the fuse box. So I don't really want to mess with that because there's not really a way for me, from what I saw, to kind of like mess with that. But I did remove this little like clip looking thing from this harness, which was like all the way down in there, and that kind of gave us a little bit more room to pull this back. So I'm hoping I can kind of sit this to the side. Yeah, it's fucked. There's more rust down there and more rust down there. So yeah, I think we're just going to kind of brush as much as this as possible. We're not going to be able to get like everything. We're just going to hit it with the rust remover for this portion and see what it does. Honestly, I kind of want to test it out on this area right here. Maybe we can use it on this and see if that does anything. Like kind of like this back area. I mean, a lot of it's just like loose garbage, rust, you know, especially inside of here. I mean, it's kind of eaten up into the actual strut tower, which is not a good sign. Definitely overpaid for this car, but it made my girlfriend happy that she has one. So at least for now, this will do until we can get her a better spec and at least have a little bit more experience with what I need to look for when buying a used car off of Facebook Marketplace, or whoever. But yeah, I guess we'll test it on this top portion. So we'll go over here and get our bowl. Ooh, that's fire. And we'll pour ourselves, is there like, what does it say here? Okay, preparation: remove flaking paint and rust with sandpaper, clean with soap and water, rinse and let dry. Then release lead dust. Lead is toxic, okay, yeah. We're gonna get lead poisoning, guys. That doesn't sound very good. Yeah, shake well, apply rust reformer to rusted surfaces direct from the bottle or pour needed amount into a container, then spread evenly using a brush. All right. Not the cleanest bowl, not the cleanest brush, but it will work for now. It doesn't really have like a measurement system. I think you can just kind of throw it in there or dilute it or whatever. We're not gonna dilute it because got some pretty tough rust on that John. Ooh, what the fuck is happening? Okay, so this is what it looks like. Kind of just looks like paint, somewhat. Let me close up this bottle real quick so we don't. Probably shouldn't have it out in the sun. Kind of block it off a little bit. And we'll put a little bit of this stuff on there. Where should I put this? I'll put it right here on top of the fuse box. I think that's smart. Get a little bit on this brush, as you can see, and we'll just kind of throw it on. Just lather lather this thing up and see what it does. It says like you can use this without like scraping the bare metal, which is kind of fine. But at the same time, this car, oh guys, I'm not even freaking recording doing this. Okay, this is what it looks like. I've been just kind of brushing it on here. It's kind of turning green. I don't know if it's supposed to do that. I don't know if it doesn't look green normally. It's like a white color or like a cream. But we're just gonna kind of like throw this stuff on there. I didn't really watch any videos of anybody using this ever, so I don't know if it's like any good, and I don't know if you know, I shouldn't get this into contact with like, probably shouldn't get into contact with electronics with this stuff. Of course, I have it on the fuse box, so I think I'm doing a pretty good job at mitigating risks of damaging the car further. But we'll just kind of throw this just all up in here, see what happens. It says to leave it, let it sit, and I don't know if we have to like wipe it off after, but we'll just like reread the instructions and see what they want us to do here. But we're just gonna get all up in these crevices and all these areas that we kind of scraped. Ooh, got on a wire down there. I don't know if you can see that, but she's making her way down and around. And we'll try it on some areas that we haven't scraped either. Like we'll try it on kind of a multitude of different areas and see what results we can get from this. I just want to get all these like little crack areas, and dude, I am totally like splattering this stuff a little bit. Okay, get all these crevices right here, kind of around here. I don't know if this is bad for the boot. It's like this strut boot type thing cover. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Can't be that bad, I'm sure. Looks like it's turning something like black over here. I don't really know what's going on, but you know, chemistry is a cool thing. You can do a lot of wacky stuff. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get all up in just everywhere right here and see what we can get out of this. I don't think I showed y'all the inside either, but it's actually pretty decent as we walk into this piece of rust and that. But the dash is actually in really nice condition overall. I mean, there are some cracks, which is to be expected for the most part. And this really ugly Katana shift knob that the previous owner put on here, which is lovely. Yeah, we're getting rid of this as soon as possible. Like, if I had a different shift knob already, like an extra spare one, this would have been thrown away already, but don't currently have that. But yeah, the seats, pretty decent condition overall. You know, few little holes and stuff, but you know, they got these kind of old school looking seats. It is wearing a little bit here, but yeah, overall not too bad. You know, moonroof works kinda, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so our gauge here, I think it's got about like 158,000 miles on it, which is quite a bit. And it did come from a northern state. I think it came from like Minnesota or something like that. But yeah, we're going to throw that in there and head back over here and see what it's doing. Oh my gosh, it's doing something. It's turning all of this into kind of like a blackish color, like purple black. I'm not really sure what's going on, but think it's turning it into like a different kind of metal, is what it said. But let's move this out of the way a little bit, see if we can kind of position it where we can paint this and also not mess up any of these fuses and whatnot. All right, let's get ourselves a little bit more of the goo, and we'll just kind of get down in here and just paint all of this stuff, all of this rust up. And what's interesting is I don't know how this works if you don't wire brush it, because, you know, obviously if the rust is, you know, bad enough, it kind of goes into the, I mean, the whole thing, you know what I mean, the whole piece of sheet metal. So I'm not really sure how it converts the stuff underneath, but you know, if you got like surface rust, I'm sure this works wonderfully. But as far as removing deep rust, like actual like frame rust like we got here, not sure how well it's going to work at preventing it from spreading, but I'm sure this will work decent enough for us for now. And we'll just see what we can do about it. This is what we got. So, and I know for a fact I'm gonna come back to these clips, and I'm gonna be so mad about the amount of times I like start tilting the camera up or like in a direction that like I don't mean to. I just need to look at the camera more, my viewfinder. I mean, that looks better than the rust, I think. I don't know if that makes it stronger than the rust. Probably just prevents it, but you know, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's turning it into like this blackish color. Hopefully that means you know, for some of these areas where I was like kind of scraping it and stuff, it'll prevent it from like rusting. But I mean, we'll see. You know, as much as I can really do with what I have currently, as far as tools and, you know, area, space to work and whatnot. We should probably try to get some of these areas I just did a little bit more wire brushing to the other side of the strut tower. Some of the parts on there I couldn't really get to, but it came out like pretty decent. Not decent, but you know, kind of, you know, shaved down quite a bit of like the top layer of a lot of the rust. This area is very concerning, but we're not gonna worry about that. At least from some other 3G eclipses I've seen from the Midwest. This really ain't that bad yet, but it's getting there. I really don't see this car being something that we're gonna be able to fix absolutely everything as far as chassis rust goes on, obviously. But yeah, so we're just gonna layer that up with the rust stuff. Kind of did this little front area. There was some rust kind of near some of the bolt holes, and I lathered up these areas as well as wire brushed them. We'll have to do something about the radiator mount things here once we get the new radiator, and obviously, you know, there's these bolts and stuff. I'm not too worried about that yet. Just mainly like the chassis rust. I should probably get this right here too, honestly. And yeah, this hood latch is pretty cooked. That spring in there too. But yeah, if we come back to the first strut that we worked on over here, it looks like a lot of that stuff that we put on there actually dried, which I think it's supposed to do that. It's supposed to kind of dry once you're done putting it on there, but it definitely looks a lot better than like the brown rust that was on there before. And obviously I think it does make it a little bit stronger, at least maybe, once it changes its chemical properties and everything. But hopefully that does something for us here, at least for a little bit. I don't know if any of this other stuff is gonna dry, but we're just gonna leave it for a little bit longer and see what it does, and maybe lather up a little bit more on this back side here, because there is a little bit more that we could probably cover back there. But yeah, not looking too bad so far. This area down here looks okay. I mean, really not the best. Still, obviously, it's going straight through the car right there, which is great. And you know, there's going to be a lot of areas that we can't really see as of right now, because I mean, it's literally at the bottom of the car, or just like in the innards. And I think for next video, I have an idea. I'll probably move the car over towards that little parking area by the house, just because, I mean, being by this main road, I know most of this video you probably won't be able to hear me, and it won't be that enjoyable of a video to watch, which kind of sucks. But again, like I said earlier, this is pretty much what I got. And my house is also my mom's store down here in Florida, so you know, whenever her store is open, I can't really be working on my car while she's out there working. So, you know, gotta make ends meet somehow. But yeah, I think we'll wait a little bit longer. I'm gonna cover this area up and try to get some of the spots that I kind of missed a little bit, like right here. Come back to it once it all kind of dries, and see how it does. All right, y'all, it is much later. I took a quick little nap-see because I worked this morning, but we are back out, and looks like for the most part, this stuff has dried off, and it kind of looks like something burnt it, but it looks better than the rust, and I think it feels a lot better than the rust being there high key. So yeah, feels a little bit more firm, less like it's going to fall apart. Same with down here. There's some little spots where it's still kind of trying to dry up. So yeah, we got more of these spots on the front, went through, kind of got that little area I missed last time, and some other little spots elsewhere. I tried to get down in here. This is kind of annoying to get to because I have these like AC compressor, so yeah, can't really move those out of the way. There was also like mold, or not mold, but like, I don't even know. I think there used to be like some sort of covering or something on this, but it's growing like moss now. But yeah, I could not really get to that. I mean, I did kind of hit it with it, but it doesn't look like it really did anything. I should go in there with the wheel wire brush, but we'll figure that out another time. Same with this little area here, but it got a little bit of it, but not really. Really caked in this area in here. I mean, obviously that's not going to prevent any rust like underneath it or like on the other side. I'm going to have to figure that out at another time, because car's kind of not super safe to lift up right now either. But yeah, so you know, got these other little areas. Again, feels a lot more sturdy than before. It's kind of mushy. Now it's like actually kind of firm. Same with this area. Caked this John up with that rust stuff. I keep forgetting the name, but yeah. Definitely looks a lot better on a lot of parts, and I kind of got some of this trim up here because there was a little bit of kind of rusting starting to happen there as well. And obviously, you know, I'm gonna have to paint this, so like 3 days time I'll come back with like some primer. Probably not really like, I might paint it silver, like a silver color on top of it, but for now I'm probably just going to like put the primer on it, and just so that it doesn't start to corrode in the areas that I wire brushed it, just because now it's kind of just open to the elements. But yeah, I'm going to put this vehicle back together, the fuse box. I mean, it's like the only thing that we really took apart. But yeah, I'm gonna put that fuse box back together. I think that's gonna do it for this video. I do have a lot of clips for this one. Not really much going on for this first one, but I think for the next one, we're probably gonna try to like clean out the interior or something, give it a good wash, and maybe replace that radiator if I can get that on order here shortly. And then we can do the radiator replacement in that video as well. But yeah, so let me know how I did for my first car video. If there's anything that y'all would like to see on the channel, anything about the Lancer, which has the Evo 10 4B11T. I know the Evo 10 is not really like the sought out Evo, but first, it's my first, I guess, fast car. I guess it's not really that fast. It's actually in the process of getting tuned, and I have a new exhaust coming in tomorrow. Currently have a single exit HKS, which doesn't fit very well, but yeah, more on that later. I'll do another video on my car. But yeah, if y'all enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, tell me what you liked about the video, tell me what you didn't like about the video, and I think that'll do it. I guess I'm doing YouTube outros now. But yeah, hope y'all have a wonderful week. And then I'll see y'all in the next video.